Hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Guys, are you ready?
Lionel, yes?
All right.
Yes, Lionel.
Cool, everyone is loud and clear. So, all right, I think we are on time. Maybe we should proceed. Now, welcome everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. Today we'll be having a look at smart solutions on how to upgrade the LV switchboards. Let me just introduce to you the team. Now, anyway, this webinar is being recorded. If you have any problems with the audio, we will actually send you the material when it's all done, and we will update it and we will send you the link. All right, first of all, my name is Lionel. I am part of the global training team, and with us today we have Alexander Gervik. He is the global application specialist. Next, we have Paulo Maleba. He is the global service product manager, as well as Valeria Conelli. She is also the global service product manager. Now, we will have the Q&A today at the end of the session, but if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the Q&A box, which you should be able to see on the right-hand side of your screen. Okay? Let's have a look at the agenda for today. Today we will look at why do we need to upgrade our electrical installation, our ABB's value, all right, value solution, as well as have a look at the introduction to flexible solutions to upgrade an installation. So we have different kinds of upgrades, like for example, the light upgrades, the medium upgrades, as well as the high upgrades. We will look into what these are, as well as the predictive feature with digitally enabled products. Okay? Now, before we start, I have a poll for you. I have a question for you. Let me just pull my poll out. What is the average life cycle of a switchboard, right, in low voltage installation? Have a look at the poll. It should pop up on your screen. Follow the instructions just to take the poll, so at least we have an idea of what you think. All right, so the poll is now. Do you see the poll?
Yes.
Good. Now, just answer accordingly. All right, and see what we have. If you think it is 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, or 60 years. So far, I have majority is clicking on 20 years. So far, more than 50% is on 20 years. So good. Thank you so much for your feedback. So, Alexander, what do you think about the polls?
Thank you very much, Lionel. Thanks for the introduction. And thank you, everybody, for joining the session. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Okay. You have control now.
Thanks. Thank you. The question was around the switchboard, and for the switchboard, the life cycle is even higher, so it's around 40 years. But actually, technologies are changing much faster. Each 3 to 5 years, we have a new technology for the electrical equipment and electrical devices. So upgrading your installation becomes crucial in order to keep up with the new requirements and the new technologies coming. So what is the reason for upgrading an electric installation? Actually, we have two key drivers which are driving the improvements of and upgrades of the electric installation. First one is need of the continuity of service. If we look at the study done by the University of Minnesota, you can see that actually there is a high increase of the power outages in the last 2 decades, even up to 124%. And this is mostly due to the growing power demand. Electricity is becoming one of the main sources of the energy, extreme weather conditions, equipment which is actually becoming obsolete and being aged, so there are equipment failures. So one of the biggest challenges is to have the continuity of service for your electric distribution. So ABB can help you with some cutting-edge technology, such as diagnostic data, quick replacement of critical modules, but also, for example, a predictive maintenance that Valeria is going to introduce you later on. So another important challenge is keeping the efficient electric distribution. And this is very important as we have a high demand of the energy coming from the electricity. And it is actually one of the biggest challenges to keep the distribution as efficient as possible. Thanks to ABB solution, you can even improve the energy efficiency up to 7% just by implementing the monitoring of your electric installation, and then you can go in a further improvements by applying some advanced features which can help you to reduce the electricity cost even up to 20%. The next question is actually, why should you choose the ABB for this solution? First of all, we are offering a flexible enough solution which can fit into different requirements of your installation. So really, depending on what is the health status of your installation, which devices you are using, what are your needs, we can discover and decide together what is the best solution which fits your needs. This helps in speeding up your project, so you can save even up to 70% on the cost comparing to the traditional system replacements. ABB is a global provider, so we have a certified solution for the worldwide market, and you can use it for the ABB, but also third-party equipment. As we are optimizing the solution to fit your needs, we can guarantee the minimum raw material utilization, which helps to reduce the CO2 emissions and also contributes to the circular economy and, most importantly, the sustainability of the environment. Excuse me for this. Just 1 second. So we can divide the ABB solutions into 3 main categories. First one is light upgrades. Those are intended for the new installation where you already have a digitally enabled product, so you can upgrade your installation with no downtime and no impact to the installation itself. With the medium upgrades, you are upgrading the electric installation which doesn't have digitally enabled products, but where the products are in a good health condition. So this requires no or minimal downtime and very light impact to the electric installation. The high upgrades are actually the ones where you are replacing the aged devices using the ABB retrofitting kits. So here you have a minimal downtime as well as the minimized impact to the installation. So let's go a bit more in details with those solutions. Let me start with the light upgrades. So those are intended for the digitally enabled ABB products. Once you have the latest generation of ABB devices, such as circuit breakers, transfer switches, external relays, we are going to dive deeper in the next slides, you can actually keep it updated during its life cycle without any impact to your electric installation. How that is possible? It's possible thanks to the digital functionalities on top of our devices. So, for example, using our ABB Ability marketplace, and I invite you to go to the internet and search for the offering we have on our marketplace and discover which solution you can download and upgrade to your device. An example, you want to monitor the power quality of your electric installation and you are using, for example, the Emax 2 or Emax XT circuit breakers from ABB, the latest generation. You can just simply download the network analyzer function, upload it into your protection device, and immediately start to monitor the power quality, for example, even up to fifth harmonic. So another solution for the light upgrades, a more hardware solution, is that you can add on a later stage a communication modules that you see here. We offer a variety of communication modules. The most standard one you can find for the in the industry, but also some additional advanced features. Let me take an example of the active signaling 3T. Again, you can add it on the later stage, and you can start monitoring the temperature and, for example, humidity or the vibration, etc., using the 4 to 20 milliamp input, together with free inputs for the PT100 or PT1000. Also, we are offering the light upgrades for the UPSs. Thanks to our modular design of the UPS, you can exchange the modules even when your UPS is connected to the loads without any interruption to the loads. This we call a hot swappability of the modules, and especially if you are using N+1 architecture, you can even under the full load disconnect and connect a new module. Also, this is very valuable when performing the maintenance because we are offering a simple solution on the modules, so actually you can perform the maintenance on the UPS in less than 10 minutes. There is a very nice video on the internet where you can discover how fastly we can do it, and there is actually shown how in less than 10 minutes you do the maintenance on the UPS module. So let's go down in the sub-distribution. Thanks to our Smithline TP technology, which is a touch-proof technology, you can add or remove the miniature circuit breakers and or contactors and motor starters without actually without disconnecting the voltage from the system. You can do it in the load-free condition, but still while the bars are under the load, under the voltage. So let's spend a couple of words around the medium upgrades. On the top left, you see the eKeep app, which we will dive deeper with this device and how you can use it for the upgrades. In the middle, it is our trip unit of the Emax 2 and Emax XT circuit breakers, which you can change during the life cycle of the circuit breaker. So if you start with the simplest deep trip unit, you can upgrade to more digitally advanced and unlock new features such as monitoring of the power quality, energy, then also the total harmonic distortion, etc., voltage current, power factor, on a later stage, just by changing the trip unit. The RGuard TVOC2 for improving the safety of the low voltage installation is also a solution that you can install on a later stage. In bottom part, you can see a metering devices, again, which you can place when on the existing installations, and from which you actually start to monitor your installation, and you have the possibility to improve the energy efficiency. On the bottom left corner, it's actually the light panel which you can connect to our active devices and monitor in front of the switchgear all the parameters. In a way, again, a ready-to-go solution. So let me spend a bit more words around eKeep app. Why we are speaking about external relay based on our eKeep trip units is because actually in the last 10 years there have been installed more than 350 million circuit breakers without actually having advanced features on top. Even around 15% of of the switching devices on the market are actually using an external trip unit. So the eKeep is a digital unit which can be fitted for the metering protection of the mains, feeders, and the generators. It is a part of our ABB Ability portfolio and helps you to have a digital connectivity and helps you even to go to the cloud and start immediately monitor your electric installation. The solution is really plug and play and minimizes the downtime. So when we speak about eKeep, actually it can be used for the ABB and also non-ABB devices, and it's 100% applicable for any brownfield scenario. As I mentioned previously, thanks to digital functionalities, once you fit it in your electric installation, in 10 minutes you can go to the cloud without any external gateway or any external system and start monitoring your full installation. You can start saving immediately, as you can save even up to 40% of the operational costs thanks to the predictive maintenance, which Valeria will show you later on. You can have a 70% cost saving, and this is a 70% more cost-effective solution compared to the traditional retrofittings. Finally, you are also saving time when performing the upgrade with the eKeep, and you can save even up to 50% of the time when retrofitting your installation with the affordable solution. So let me share you a bit more details how the eKeep looks like. So on the bottom left corner, you can see the module itself, and you can see that you have a touchscreen display, HMI display, where you can actually see all the parameters and perform the control of your trip unit. You have also the measurement module. So as I mentioned previously, you can measure the voltages, currents, power quality, power, energy, also the power factor, etc. Then you can communicate in an easy fashion all the information that you gather from the eKeep by using any of the several communication protocols I mentioned in the light upgrade, and you can even change them during the life cycle. You can even perform some control functions such as power controller, synchro check, signaling, so sending the input and output signals from and to eKeep to perform some controlling operations. You simply need to connect the voltage from the bus bar, and you need to measure also the current from the bus bar. For measuring the current, you can use any of here reported Rogowski coils, where I would like to underline the open style Rogowski coil, which you can fit around the existing bus bar system without actually attaching the bus bars. So really, it's a solution very simple and very fast to do it with a very low impact to the electric installation. So finally, if you want to improve the safety of your installation and perform the arc flash mitigation in an active way, you can use our RGuard TVOC2 system, which basically takes the information from the light sensors. You can connect up to 30 light sensors or up to 30 also current sensors within the installation. We always encourage you to do so on the early stage of the project, actually on the greenfield installation, in order to prevent the arc faults, but you can also retrofitting into the existing equipment, and in less than 50 milliseconds completely disconnect the arc energy. Actually, the TVOC2 itself detects and sends the tripping signal to the circuit breaker in less than 1 millisecond, and then you have the opening time of the circuit breaker. That would be all from my side for now. I leave the word to Paolo, who will show you and share with you more details on the high upgrade solutions. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hello, everyone.
You have control.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Paolo here. Thanks, Alexander, for your introduction. So let's start talking about a high upgrade that consists in retrofitting kits solutions that allow to replace the electromechanical part of the device in order to upgrade the switchboard. Now, before starting, it is the moment of a second poll. So I give the word to Lionel.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, everybody, same as earlier. The next question I have for you is, can you guess what is the average life cycle of a circuit breaker in a low voltage electrical installation? Same thing, just multiple choice, just just fill it up, and so that we can have a look at the quick figures. So far, looks like a majority, about 60%, thinks it's about 20 years.
Great.
Yeah, it's about 60%, thinking it's estimated 20 years.
Okay.
Majority, I guess. So what do you think about it?
I think that 20 years is the right answer on this question, considering that we are considering the fact that the breakers and the switchgear are in standard condition, so no critical situation for this case. So we can go ahead, and I would like to start with this slide that shows a piece of history of our division. In the first timeline, you can see the air circuit breaker from the oldest one, that is the Automax, launched in 1961, to the Emax2. In the second timeline, there are module case circuit breaker from the ISOL to the Isomax to the T-Max 60 series. As a service, we develop solutions in order to upgrade switchgear where are installed Automax, Megamax, or Isomax with the last technology of Emax2 or T-Max 60 series. Our retrofitting kit solution are split in 3 product lines. So there are 3 different ways to upgrade your device thanks to our retrofitting. The first product line, it is the hard bus retrofit. It consists in the replacement of the complete breakers thanks an adaptation kit that allows to connect the bus bar of the switchgear with the terminals of the breaker. This solution is suitable for fixed and withdrawable versions, and the time to the installation is from 6 to 8 hours. The second product line, it is the cradle-in-cradle. It is an advanced retrofitting kit solution that is suitable for withdrawable devices. A withdrawable circuit breaker or switches connector is composed by a cradle, a fixed part, and a moving part. In this case, there is a replacement of the moving part of the old device with a special, a customized cradle of the new breaker that fits inside the existing cradle with its standard moving part. That's the reason why this solution is called cradle-in-cradle. It is suitable for withdrawable devices, as mentioned before, and the time to install a cradle-in-cradle is more or less 1 hour and a half. The third product line, it is the fastest way to upgrade your switchgear with a retrofitting kit. It is the direct replacement. It is a solution suitable for withdrawable device. In this case, the replacement consists in the removal of the old moving part in order to rack in a dedicated moving part of the new breaker inside the existing cradle. This is a very fast way to upgrade your switchgear, and the installation in this case requires also in some cases less than 1 hour. Going ahead, why retrofitting kits are, why to choose retrofitting kits? Why are they convenient? If the switchgear is in a good condition, I mean panels, I mean bus bar, choosing a retrofitting kit is convenient because there is a relevant saving in terms of material cost, manpower, and in particular cost saving in terms of cost of downtime. In fact, the footprint is the same, and you can imagine the difference between dismantling the existing switchgear, developing and build a new generation one, with removing just the moving part of the old breaker to rack in the new moving part of Emax2 or T-Max 60. That's the case of direct replacement. The difference is very high. Here in the picture, there is a direct replacement Megamax to Emax2. You can see the special moving part. Going ahead. So I would like to spend some word talking about the retrofitting kits development. In our division, we have an R&D service competence center that is focused on retrofitting kit solution, and that has also a relevant know-how both for old and new breakers. Our R&D team is in charge of the designing and testing phase of retrofitting kits that are tested in our accredited laboratories in order to release certification of conformity. What it is important to say is that we test in our laboratories the final result of our retrofitting kits. What does it mean? You can see in this picture, for example, a direct replacement during a temperature rise test. And you can see that there is the moving part, the special moving part of the Max2 inside an old cradle. So the final result is tested in our laboratories. Going ahead. After the design, the testing phase, there is the engineering phase, and this comes in our service factory in Dalmine. Our factory is in the North Italy. In Dalmine plant, Dalmine plant is a big plant of ABB. It is the house of medium voltage apparatus and switchgear. And inside this plant, there is a production side dedicated for medium and low voltage service. In particular, for the low voltage area, there are around 60 people considered white and blue collars that are working, and our service factory is certified ISC, UL, and CCC. This is the house of retrofitting kits, where retrofitting kits are realized, but also are tested in terms of zero-series test before product launch, as well as a routine test for each product before the packaging and then the delivery phase. So, which kind of switchgear it is possible to upgrading using a retrofitting kit solution? In this slide, you can see the solutions that are available for ABB device in terms of Arbus retrofit, direct replacement, and cradle in cradle, from the oldest Automax to the Emax and the new Emax. And it's important also to mention that we have solution for the module case Emax, Isomax S7. Here, other devices that is possible to upgrade with our solution, and we are talking about non-ABB devices. In this slide, you can see the solutions that are going to be available by the end of this year or during the 2021 to retrofit GE legacy breakers. After the integration with General Electric at the end of 2018, as a service, we started working to develop solutions in order to retrofit GE legacy breaker with Emax2, and now the solution are ready to be launched by the end of the next year. we have also solutions to retrofit in terms of R-bus retrofit and direct replacement for master pack temp. So in terms of support, before and after having ordered our solutions, we have useful documents that are part of our marketing material and are very useful to order correctly the retrofitting kits. In our brochure, you can have information about the products, but in particular, it is possible to choose properly the solution. For example, here on the right, there is a screenshot of a brochure of direct replacement master pack temp to MX2. And you can see that accordingly to the solution, to the version of master pack that you want to upgrade, you can choose the right version of retrofitting, and you can have a look also the performances. These performances are not the one of master pack or the one of Emax2, but are the performances of the direct replacement master pack Emax2 that are shared by our R&D after having tested the direct replacement, the retrofitting. Here on the right, a picture that shows the cradle of master pack, where inside there is the moving part of the Emax2. After having ordered, we support our customer with instructional sheet, electrical drawings also, and video manual in order to guarantee an easy installation that can be done also for customer technicians. So I would like to finish my presentation with our value proposition. Why to choose ABB retrofitting kit? First, safety and protection. Behind the development of retrofitting kits, there is a structure and there is a quality. That's the reason why we would like to guarantee a high level of quality in our products. Ease of installation. From the beginning, from the design phase, our retrofit are developed in order to guarantee easy and fast installation, especially for advanced retrofitting kit solution like direct replacement, where the installation takes, in some cases, also less than 1 hour. That's the case of direct replacement, for example, for direct replacement new Emax to Emax2, where, and it is the picture here on the right. Sustainability. Our retrofitting kits are sustainable solutions because they enable the circular economy. Thanks to retrofitting kit, in fact, it is possible to upgrade your electrical system without dismantling the existing plant and without developing a new switchgear. This means a saving in terms of materials usage, as well as a minimization of CO2 emissions. During the last years, the number of retrofitting kits that we are selling has increased. And today I'm very happy to share with you our achievements during the last 4 years in terms of natural source saving. The result is a saving of 4,000 tons of copper, 6,000 tons of steels, and 30,000 tons of CO2 equivalent. Then, the last but not the least, continuous operation. Retrofitting kits means to introduce the last generation breakers of ABB inside your existing switchgear. And it means to introduce all the technology of Emax2 or Emax60 series, where one of the pillars is to guarantee the continuous operation thanks to the innovative tool like Predictive feature in ABB Ability DCS or Equip Power Controller to improve the energy efficiency. So that's all for my side, and now I give the words to my colleague Valeria to talk about predictive maintenance.
Thank you, Paolo. Can you confirm you hear me, please?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay,
You have control now.
Thank you. I need to change slide. Okay. Thank you, Paolo, for the presentation. I want now to present a service and digital product that covers all the three solutions, light, medium, and high upgrade that Alexander and Paolo just showed us. We are talking about Predictive, which is a feature, one of the pillars of ABB Ability Electrical Distribution Control System, EDCS, which is ABB cloud platform. We have 4 pillars. One is monitor, used to discover supervising the electrical system. We have optimizer with the possibility to analyze the relevant information, improve the use of the assets to take decision. Control, instead, is a remotely implement power management strategy for saving energy. The last but not the least, we have a Predict. The first 3, monitor, optimize, and control, are part of the standard package, while Predict is an additional feature and can be ordered as a complete package, talking about a premium license, or as an add-on only limited to some devices in the plant, the ones that we want to monitor. Predict, what is Predict? It's a feature that can optimize the frequency of maintenance on all the devices monitored. So now it's your time. So I kindly ask Lionel to share with us, with you, the next polling, and we have a question about the frequency of maintenance on our circuit breakers.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have another poll. So this is quite simple. What we are asking for you is, can you select, it's a multiple choice, can you select the maintenance frequency, basically for our circuit breakers, indicated by us. So feel free to just take the poll so that we can just have an idea whether what is happening. Okay, wow. Very quickly, the numbers are moving. Majority is going for once a year. I have 43% going for once a year. 44, I sound like I'm in an auction. 47%. 48. Well, okay. It looks like the majority is going for once a year. So, Valera, what do you think?
Yes, it is exactly what it is indicated in the manual. But actually, what do you think if we could improve or extend the frequency from one maintenance activity and the other one? And this is one of the aim of Predict. Predict has a dedicated page in EDCS represented with overall plant health conditions, where you can see here, I'll show you here. Here we have 4 labels, good, medium, moderate, and critical, with also 4 different colors. In this case, we have only green because we have only good conditions. In this case, we want to represent, with this indication, we want to represent the risk of a fault of the device. In particular, we have 3 breakers in this case with a very limited risk of fault. So we mention that it is in good condition. While if we move to critical, then in this case the risk of fault is definitely much higher. But if we scroll down in the same page, we find more rows dedicated to each single device. In particular, we are talking about, like in this case, Emax2, with the name given by the customer, a representative picture of the device, the serial number, which for us is very important because it tells us how old is the breaker, the health condition that we already mentioned above, And the most important information is about within when to perform the next maintenance. So we have a date here. And eventually also the latest maintenance date if someone has already added this information. But if we click on each single line, we can deeper investigate the health condition of the device, accessing to a curve that represents exactly this information. In particular, we have a graph that goes from 100% to 0% with a curve, a sloping curve, blue curve, where we can see the aging of the breaker and also the effect of maintenance with the vertical blue line. Today we are exactly at this point where we have a continuous curve, but there is also represented here a dotted curve that is the way we expect the product will behave from today to the next maintenance date, which is here represented with a vertical purple curve. The complete aging curve, health condition curve, is influenced by the age of the breaker, of course, considering both the production and the installation dates. We also take into consideration the utilization conditions. I'm talking about the mechanical life, so how many times the breaker opens and closes, the voltage, and opening, okay, or it was instead related to a fault, to a trip. So we had one of the 4 protections, LSIG, that tripped the breaker. But it's not all, because we also consider the environmental conditions where the breaker is installed. In particular, we consider humidity, temperature, dust level, corrosion level, and vibration. The last but not least, we have the maintenance activity that here is well represented in the graph. To understand better the information about the environmental conditions, so how much does these inputs influence the output, I want to show here 2 examples of one environment which is considered standard or not critical, and the second one where we have, for example, a high level of dust. You can see that the same product utilized in the same way, after the same time, we have 2 different curves, 2 different results. Here we have also listed the reason why the environmental conditions are so important. But what I wanted to underline is that the algorithm that we have created takes in consideration the mix of the inputs coming from environmental conditions in order to give you the most closest situation to the reality. Okay, one other point is maintenance. The effect of maintenance is not always the same, and here we have 2 different solutions, 2 different effects. The difference is related to the parts that have been replaced before they break. And also about the type of maintenance performed. We want to underline that the maintenance can be performed both by only ABB or also by field operators of the technicians. What we required in any case is that the personnel who performs maintenance is an authorized personnel, so has at least attended a MAN training, and it stands for maintenance. We want to be sure that the person who puts hands on the breaker is a trained one. Once that the field operator collected all the information in Keep Connect, which is the tool that allows this collection of data, the data are automatically sent to the cloud, to ABB Ability DCS, once the field operator is connected on the internet with his PC. Talking about tools for Predictive, we have already mentioned Keep Connect. where there is a section, and you can see here a page for maintenance activity, where we have here the minimum list of activities that we expect the technician always performs. For sure, to access to Predict feature, you need to have EDCS, and I already mentioned that you need or the premium or the add-on as an additional part. But you can you can purchase both of them in marketplace. We want to say one last word about this slide, that it is about the ABB presence. So you can always count on us when you perform both commissioning and maintenance on the breaker. So we can give you on-site field service experts, field service engineers, or you can eventually assist you from remote with a remote assistance. I anticipate this information just to say that from next year we will have also this new service product. Okay, which are the products that can be monitored, talking about health conditions, with the Predict? We have Emax2 in terms of air circuit breakers, but also not new breakers like a new Emax. And we need also a keep up in this case. I anticipate also this information, which is the one about GE products. GE could be connected to the cloud through a keep up. For talking about instead more the case circuit breakers, we have now only connected XT7 to Predict. And you can have access to all the breaker health condition using the retrofitting kits with Emax2 and Emax XT. We complete the presentation with giving you a couple of successful stories, both coming from China. The first one is from China's largest distributor of industrial electrical components and power distribution technologies. I do not pronounce it because it's very complicated. And I want just to mention the general manager words, talking about the rapid digital update that was possible thanks to a keep up that improved the energy efficiency analysis and also the asset health management. The second case is about a football stadium still in China, where the next season, sports season, was very, very close, and they had criticalities in terms of time to replace the 14 Megamax they used to have because they now have 15 new advanced retrofitting kits with the direct replacement. And we could serve them in a very fast way. In the presentation that will be shared, I will also give you the information about the links where you could find eventually more information about the topics that we have just treated. Before giving you the stage on questions and answers, we want also to introduce the next webinar, which will be in November 18th, about switches and fuse gear, very well connected. We will learn how to implement measuring and monitoring capabilities when using switches and fuse gear in applications like a compact substation, general electric distribution, critical power. I thank you very much for your time and for your patience. And now I really interested to know which are your questions about the topics that we have just seen.
Okay, thank you very much, Valeria. Guys, anyway, thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to open up the floor for your Q&A. So feel free to type in your questions in the Q&A box. I see some coming in already. So that our trainers can actually take the questions and answer you. Now, try not to put your questions in the chat box. The Q&A box would be better for us. Okay, so guys, at your own time, if you have any questions you can answer, please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe I can take the first one, as I see it's referring to the part that I was presenting. So it is mentioned that we can have 7% energy efficiency just by using ABB solution. So where this number is coming from? A very good question. Thanks a lot. Actually, this is the study done in the Nordic countries, where actually the study was done on many low voltage installations. First, without any metering, and then the digital metering was introduced into different facilities, so this was also taken into account. And it is discovered that just by knowing where your electricity is going to, knowing how you are utilizing your energy, where the losses are, on average, the improvement in energy efficiency was 7%. So you can have even higher or lower, of course, depending on which actions you are taking. But this was basically based just on by knowing what's the status of your equipment, what are the losses, where the power is going to, what is the average energy, etc. So again, it's based on a study of independent body. I see another one. So what is the display size of eKeep Touch and eKeep Up relay? So the size is, if I'm not wrong, 3.3 inches. And basically the Emax2 eKeep Trip unit and eKeep Up have the same display size. When we go to the T-Max XT, let me just quickly jump to that slide if I have the control. Just to show you if we have on an image both circuit breakers, but in any case, as the T-Max XT is smaller in size, especially the T-Max XT2, the smallest one for up to 160 amps, the display, of course, will be a bit smaller.
I can also answer one question about trainings. Yes, we have a main trainings also for our customers. So yes, the answer is yes, we offer MAN training for breakers.
I have another question about the accuracy. So what is the accuracy level of data collected from site using the EDCS? So it doesn't, let's say, it's not based on the EDCS, but actually on the accuracy on the components itself. So the latest line of T-Max XT and Emax 2 circuit breakers, for example, have the class 1 accuracy for the power and energy, certified class 1. And also I invite you to maybe search for the recording of our previous intelligent distribution webinar, where we addressed much more in details why the accuracy is important and why it's important to accurately measure your data. Then, of course, it depends which device you are connecting in the electric installation, but in the most cases, yeah, we have the state-of-the-art technology for the accuracies in the installation itself. And then we can guarantee you that actually all the data is pulled to the cloud at the same time, so that you can really be sure that the data you are measuring is accurate enough.
I see a question about in case of a non-ABB screw breaker with the keep up installed. So I think it's none of the breaker is ABB, but we install a keep up. Can we get predict function and all the other functions, other pillars in EDCS? The answer is predict is only for ABB breakers so far. Consider that we took a long time to define the algorithm behind predict. While monitor, optimize, and control using keep up the circuit breaker.
Paolo, I'm afraid that you are muted. Sorry, I see that you are answering the question.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I can answer to one question that I have just received. This an ABB breaker retrofit kit installation needs to be done by ABB or can a general contractor, general electrical contractor. So our retrofitting kits are designed for an easy installation so that they can be installed from customer technicians without any specific qualifications. So that's the reason why we provide instructional sheets and for the main solutions also video manual to explain better the assembly process. I see another question from retrofitting. Is the Master Pact retrofit kit only available for ESC or breakers or also ANSI? The solution that I have presented, it is for ISC standard.
Okay. There is one question especially for the switch fuse units. So what are the modifications required for installing monitoring unit to switch fuse units? So it depends which device you are using. For example, ITS2 you can fit onto the switch fuse units. Again, Valeria introduced you that we are going to have the webinar in November for the switches and fuse gears. So I invite you to join us and to discover more. Already you can have the embedded metering with the ITS2 devices, for example, with a Smith Line Gold technology, and the other devices like OT switches with the ITS2. But again, I invite you to join and to discover much more around this.
So another question received: when retrofitting for GE Impact will be available? So we will release soon the hardware retrofit Impact to Emax2, and during the next year the direct replacement for Impact with Emax2.
Okay, I see one for the cloud. So is it real-time data transferred to the cloud? Yes, the answer is it is the real-time data. Maybe the colleagues can help me. I think each 15 seconds that the data is pulled to the cloud. So you have the refresh data each 15 seconds, but actually the data is real time. So we guarantee that the data are synchronized once pushed to the cloud.
One question about cloud developments in AI and the accelerated learnings that come from it allow other brands of a circuit breaker to be included in predictive function eventually. Yes, could be, of course. We are thinking and working in this direction. And this is also an answer to give in case customers are not happy to have data in the cloud, for example. But we also can mention the cybersecurity. Alexander, can you eventually say something about this topic?
For the cybersecurity?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, actually, one of, let me say, the main things that we are looking at is the cybersecurity topic. The EDCS system is done in a collaboration with Microsoft. So actually, we are leveraging on the cybersecurity done by Microsoft. The data is owned. It can be owned only by customers. So this is depending on the agreement between the ABB and the customer. Also ABB can have, but if customer decides, only customer can have the access to the data. And data are as safe as on storing the data on the Microsoft. Most importantly, and what is important, actually, you are monitoring the data on your electric installation, and we are allowing only sending the data to the cloud. You cannot do the control from the cloud. So basically, you cannot switch on and switch off, for example, the circuit breakers or any of the devices, or change any of the parameters, again, because of the cybersecurity reasons. It's not that we cannot do it, but actually for the cybersecurity, we do not allow. It doesn't exist anything which is 100% cyber secure, but in many cases, actually, if you look some studies, is the human error or in some way physically really that the data are stolen if we look at the industry in general. But this is something that we put as the highest priority. And also all our devices, gateways are tested for the cybersecurity. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, guys. We have actually reached our time, so I will not want to hold you back much further. For the questions that we have not answered, what we will do is we will answer these questions that we have, and we'll get everything listed, and we will send to you the link whereby you can download first of all, you can download the recording of this webinar. You will be able to get the material plus the Q&A that we have just gone through. Now, before we leave, before you sign out, after you sign out, you will get a feedback form. We would like to hear from you. Let us know how we can improve our material so that to suit your needs. All right. And with that, if you have any other feedback, let us know. So with that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. To our trainers, thank you so much for your time and your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely day.
Everybody.
And stay
Have a
safe.
nice day.
Stay
Bye.
safe, everyone.
Stay
Have
safe.
a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.